One of the most rugged and naturally beautiful places on Earth, the Canadian Rockies have 5 unique national parks that combined were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. At the heart of the Canadian Rockies, less than 100 miles west of Calgary, you'll find Canada's oldest national park, Banff National Park. Encompassing 2,500 square miles of breathtaking mountainous terrain, with world-renowned skiing and over 1,000 miles of hiking trails, it's no surprise that the park is one of Canada's top tourist and adventure travel destinations. Mountain living, alpine trails, and endless caves. This week on Epic Trails, we're exploring Banff National Park. I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails. The first town and stop for most travelers visiting Banff National Park, Banff is a quaint mountain town surrounded by raw, visceral beauty, and it was the obvious place to start my Canadian Rockies adventure. Located within the boundaries of the park, housing and development of the town is closely monitored and capped, which has allowed one of Canada's top tourist destinations to maintain its authentic character while preserving the spectacular wilderness around it. Having nature so close at hand is one of the things that makes Banff such a unique place. And thanks to the Banff Gondola, you can even summit one of the mountains overlooking Banff without breaking a sweat. Although I love climbing mountains under my own power, it's hard to pass up a ride like this. Not surprisingly, the scenery is spectacular, and I'm excited to get a bird's eye view for the land that I'll be exploring for the next week. As much as I love the vibe of the town, I can't help feeling the pull to explore deeper into the wilderness. But backcountry travel in the Canadian Rockies is something that you need to be prepared for. So I'm meeting up with Michelle McCullough, a ranger with Parks Canada, to give me the rundown about the do's and don'ts of backcountry travel in Banff National Park.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Doing great.
Welcome to Banff National Park.
Thank you so much.
This is our playground.
Oh man, this is spectacular.
I'm pretty fond of it. I'm from here.
Oh wow, I see why you would be.
Yeah, never tire of it. Well, as a first-time visitor to Banff, we share this park with bears, so the idea is that you want to prevent having an encounter, make lots of noise, carry bear spray, know how to use it, but it's up to us as humans to make the effort to know that they're out there. You've really got to do trip planning. This isn't the kind of thing that you can just do on a lark. You've really got to do your homework, get your maps, get your tools, think about what your skill level is, and pick some areas and trails that are well suited for your abilities.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing? Eric, nice to meet you. Gordon, White Mountain Adventures. You want to go for a heli-hike?
I absolutely do.
Let's go.
All right.
There are so many options for adventure here that it's hard to choose what to do. But heli-hiking is right at the top of my list. So I'm pumped to be meeting with Gordon Sturman, who is a longtime mountain guide and owner of White Mountain Adventures.
Hell yeah. Guys, I'm really excited about this. This is my first helicopter flight ever. Wow, that's a long way down. That is a long way down. It's always nice when you do parachute dropping, when you climb up to 12,000 feet and then open the sliding door and then you hear the scream. Oh, that'd be a scream, all right. Yeah. where we're going is just about the only place where it's rolling hills enough that you can actually go hiking. Yeah, this looks a little bit unforgiving terrain up here. That's right.
Although I really enjoyed my time in Banff, I'm excited to start exploring the backcountry. And I can't think of a better way to do that than with my first ever heli-hiking trip. Watching the helicopter fly off, it's hard not to feel a little overwhelmed by how remote we are. Even though I'm very comfortable in the backcountry, and I know Gordon has been guiding in this area for years.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. You want to lead? That way. Okay, all right, let's go.
That's the first big difference I notice with heli-hiking. Unlike hiking into the wilderness, where you gradually get further from civilization, when you're heli-hiking, you go from sitting in the warm cockpit of this wonderful flying machine to all of a sudden being alone and isolated in a remote wilderness landscape. It's a jarring but exciting change of circumstances. It's late September here, and already snow is beginning to cover the alpine landscape. It's no surprise that there are only a few plants strong enough to survive in these conditions. But the lack of vegetation lets the rock tell its own story and offers a glimpse into the incredible history of our planet.
All sedimentary rock, meaning it was under an ocean, a pretty shallow ocean actually, about somewhere 300 million years ago. Yeah. And so corals grew in this area. Really? And, yeah. And you can see, and right here are some remnant shells. Those are all old corals right there, right there. Wow. Yeah. Very cool.
The landscape we're walking through is stunning. And to think that much of the rock we see at the top of this mountain range was once beneath the ocean is fascinating. It's humbling to think about my life in the grand scheme of Earth's history. But that's one of the reasons I love hiking so much. It provides a unique connection with the Earth because I'm forced to move slowly through it, to see it and feel it. And to put it simply, hiking helps keep me grounded.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
White Mountain Adventures NOB. We're ready for you to pick us up now anytime. Winds are pretty light, but moving around.
It's been an incredible introduction to Banff National Park and to heli-hiking. I have to say that being a bit of a backpacking purist, I wasn't sure how I'd feel about heli-hiking. But the experience has blown my mind, and I can now really appreciate the benefits. Not only does a helicopter provide quick and easy access to extremely remote alpine terrain, which would be an epic undertaking to reach by foot, but the helicopter ride itself is an adventure on its own, which provides amazing views of the landscape. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure which part of the trip I enjoyed more, the hike or the flight.
Oh man, well thank you so much. That was truly incredible.
Welcome. Great day.
Now that I've experienced the Canadian Rockies from above, it's time to explore the mountains from below. And so I'm heading out to meet with Max of Canmore Cave Tours. I don't know much about the adventure ahead, except that we'll be heading underground to explore a vast network called the Rat's Nest Cave.
Ghostbuster. Looking slightly ridiculous as part of the experience.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So how big is this cave system?
Oh, so far we've discovered 4 kilometers of passageways, but actually the cave is still being actively explored, which is really fun.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we're on the frontier.
Sick.
Within a few meters of entering the cave, any signs of daylight are gone, and so the only light we'll have is provided by our headlamps. There are a number of different routes to take through the caves, and Max decides to start me out with the stout 60-foot rappel that gets my full attention.
Off rappel!
As we travel deeper, the character of the cave continues to change, and amazing alien-like rock formations give the cave an otherworldly feel.
So the cave is like this completely different world underneath our feet. Just spectacular.
These are some wild features. We'll really see it changing the deeper we get.
Some of those formations there have been growing for hundreds of thousands of years.
Winding around like an underground maze, I can only imagine how much work it has taken to map the miles of cave that were carved through the limestone by water over millions of years. It's a world I rarely think about, but it's truly fascinating to explore. The cave is a cool 41 degrees year-round, but crawling through the cave is hard work, and so getting cold is not a problem.
Oh man.
My biggest problem is keeping up with Max. He was raised in a family of cavers and moves through the tiny gaps in the rock with comic ease.
Holy graceful. You did so fast.
Caving isn't easy work, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I can say that after a day of exploring the underbelly of the Rockies, I have a whole new appreciation for the cavers and for the underworld. The days are getting shorter here, and nighttime temperatures are dropping. But the cool fall conditions are perfect for hiking in the mountains. And so to take advantage of the gorgeous weather, I'm heading into the backcountry with Allison Cardinal from the Amnuska Mountain Guides.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm Allison.
Allison, Eric.
Good.
Nice to meet you. Right on.
Yeah.
Spectacular place here.
Good day of hiking?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sounds good.
Originally from Northern Ireland, Allison is a veteran of the backcountry in and around Banff National Park. She works as a ski guide in the winter and a backpacking guide in the summer, and uses her free time to rock climb and mountaineer. Today's mission is to hike to Baker Lake, about 8 miles into the backcountry, where there's a Parks Canada campsite. Although our route has involved some climbing, the refreshing fall temperatures have kept things comfortable. But when we come upon a beautiful alpine lake, common sense is once again trumped by my strange compulsion, an irresistible draw to test the water.
That's a heart stopper. You lied to me.
I feel a little bit lied to. Allison told me that was warm. That was definitely not warm. But it was fun.
Not much further ahead, we'll reach Baker Lake and our designated campsite. Although we're passing lots of spots that would make for great camping, when backpacking in national parks and high traffic areas, it's essential to stick to designated sites to minimize your impact and keep the area pristine for generations to come. I love getting into camp early and being able to set up while the sun is still shining. It gives me time to relax, to reflect on the day, make a hot drink, and get excited about the next day's plan.
Can we actually see the lake from where we're camped?
No. No, you can't. You can see the glacier and stuff behind here, but you can't see this lake is really beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I think we should do that actually. I think that would be a better...
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go check out Merlin Lake and get in that, and then if we have extra energy and time, we'll go up Skokie Mountain.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
It actually tastes really good.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, that's good. No,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, it's been a good day. Put in some good miles today. It's about 8 o'clock. Sun's gone down. Temperature's dropping. It's time to crawl into the sack.
Did you have a good sleep?
I did. So I got up at in the middle of the night somewhere to go to the bathroom, and it took me a minute to realize the northern lights are here, and I'd never seen them before. It was really amazing. I just stood out as long as I could before I got cold and had to crawl back into my sleeping bag.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect to be able to see them.
Just about every backpacking trip delivers at least one or two surprises, and getting my first look at the northern lights is something I'll never forget. But the way Allison has talked about Merlin Lake, our destination for today, makes me believe that there are more surprises in store for me. That really is the magic of backpacking. You never know what you'll encounter on the trail. On our way up to Merlin Lake, we make a quick stop at another designated campsite to offload some of our heavier gear, including our food bags, which we hang out of a bear's reach. This will definitely make the final climb faster and easier.
Super cool. That's it. Right on. No bears eat my food. All right.
With every passing mile, the scenery seems to become even more spectacular. The colors are surreal, especially the larch trees that have turned a vibrant yellow. Being immersed in a place like this and sharing the experience with someone who is equally as passionate about the outdoors is a powerful experience.
This is quite the setting. Yeah, I can see why this is the one to come to.
There's so much to see and experience in Banff National Park, and I know I'm only scratching the surface, but no trip here would be complete without a visit to the iconic Lake Louise, whose turquoise waters and mountain views are so spectacular that they look almost fake. But for Allison and I, Lake Louise is only the starting point for today's adventure, because we're headed to the Plain of Six Glaciers, where there's a special treat waiting for those who make the 10-mile return hike into the mountains. It seems fitting to finish my trip to Banff National Park in such a special place. It's the final surprise on what's been a mind-blowing adventure. An adventure that has delivered much more than an epic trail. Considered by many to be one of the harshest landscapes on Earth, Australia holds the distinction of being the driest and most sparsely inhabited continent on the planet. But don't let that fool you. Australia is a beautiful and diverse country, filled with energy and life. The least populous of Australia's 8 major states and territories, the Northern Territory is a huge region found in the central and northern central part of the country. But what the territory lacks in numbers of people, it makes up for with its stunning geography. Featuring a tropical climate in the north, a desert climate in the south, and 18 different national parks, the Northern Territory is a dream trekking destination. Extreme wildlife, world-class hiking, and barbecued kangaroo. This week on Epic Trails, we're exploring Australia's Northern Territory. I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails. At the far northern end of Australia, you'll find the city of Darwin, capital of the Northern Territory and the starting point of my trip. Situated on the Timor Sea and with a population of only 145,000, Darwin is a small and beautiful city that acts as a gateway to an array of national parks, wetlands, and of course, the outback. Although I'm excited to begin my backcountry adventure in Kakadu National Park, a place that's famous for bringing Crocodile Dundee into our world, this is my first time in Australia. And so, to get oriented, I set out to explore Darwin and enjoy the city before heading into the outback. While exploring, I'm told by a number of locals that if I really want a good first taste of the Australian way of life, that I need to check out the Mendel Beach Sunset Market. The market is buzzing with activity and energy. It's an exciting place, but I think I'm most excited about trying the local food. And I can't think of a better way to get a taste of Australia than with a kangaroo burger at the Roadkill Cafe.
Number 92.
Thank you so much.
Help yourself. Send the napkin.
What do you recommend? Anything in particular?
No, I made the move by myself. All those sauces, and I reckon
They're just the way, right the way they need to be.
Whoa. That's a hell of a burger.
As evening approaches, the crowd gathers on the beach to watch the sunset and celebrate the end of another spectacular day in the Northern Territory. Although I thoroughly enjoyed my day in Darwin, it's time to leave the city behind, and I'm really looking forward to getting my first taste of the outback. To show me around, I've been joined by local guide Sab Lord, an interesting name for a unique character. Sab literally grew up in the bush and has been guiding in the outback for decades. So when you think of Crocodile Dundee, well, here he is in real life. We're heading to Kakadu National Park, a massive protected area that is home to a precious ecosystem and a stunning array of wildlife. While driving, Sab is only too happy to share stories of what it was like growing up here. But before we get too far, Sab has a little surprise for me. Or maybe it would be better described as an initiation.
You're going to do this.
What's happening?
Okay. So see this here?
All right.
Righto. That's green ants. And you put them in your mouth. And you roll them around in your mouth.
You roll them around in your mouth. Do they bite? All right.
Tastes like citrus. Wow.
Although it's hard to shake the feeling that Saab is messing with me, I find myself following him into the water to try another outback delicacy. Keeping our eyes peeled for any signs of crocs, Saab introduces me to bush celery, a surprisingly tasty and nutritious snack that's found throughout the wetlands.
That's quite good.
Having endured my first survival lesson, it's time to move on, because Kakadu National Park is only a short drive away. On our way to Kakadu National Park, we stop to inspect a smoldering forest, the product of an age-old Aboriginal hunting technique used to flush animals from hiding. Although the use of fire in hunting might seem destructive and wasteful, Saab explains that the Aboriginal people have been successfully living off the land for over 40,000 years, and that the brush fires help reset the native flora. Continuing on our journey, I'm excited to reach the Aboriginal Community Center to learn more about their way of life and how they've survived in such a harsh landscape. But even more interesting to me is the vibrant culture and their unique Aboriginal artwork.
You know the Qantas planes, some of his designs are on the Qantas planes.
Oh, really?
Yep. He's a very well-known artist within the industry. For painting, like, he's very sought after.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he does have a distinguished style. He does mostly rock art style, which is single hatching.
That's beautiful.
Sometimes it takes me 2 days. Sometimes it takes me a week.
In preparation for our Kakadu trek, Saab prepares some ochre face paint, intent on making sure I'm well initiated before we head out. At least this time, it doesn't involve eating anything. At the community center, we meet Roland, a local art expert and hiking guide, and we begin our trek into Kakadu. We're heading for some nearby bluffs that showcase a very special art gallery. Telling the stories of an ancient way of life, it's amazing that the murals are in such pristine condition, with some of the cave paintings dating back as far as 10,000 years.
So like we ate these old animals, and so they came back these hills and start to painting the wall.
But there is a couple of old ones just around the corner, okay, which are boomerangs, and they're about 6,500 years old, okay. But these ones here, depicting the freshwater period, what was available. So there's flying foxes there, the big nice wallaroo.
Oh, over here.
Yeah, so it's about 1,500 years old.
This one's 1,500 years old. Oh my goodness. Never seen anything like this.
After a fascinating walk through time, we say goodbye to Roland and continue our hike, deeper into Kakadu National Park. Now mid-afternoon, without a cloud in sight, it's an incredibly hot and humid day to be on the trail. No stranger to intense heat, Saab knows exactly where to go.
Used to the heat, but not the humidity out here. Those pools sure do look inviting, though. So, Sab, what do I do if the crocs start nibbling on my toes for appetizers? What's the proper survival technique?
Is to poke them in both eyes with your thumbs.
Jam in the eyes?
Yep.
Before they take you under?
And then you take off and I come after you, okay?
All right, you got it. Let's do this.
Swimming holes in the desert are just about my favorite thing. But when you're in Australia, it's important to understand that there might be bigger and toothier creatures enjoying the hole too. Despite the warnings, the water is just too beautiful and inviting to pass up. Growing up in the desert, I've always felt a special connection to these types of landscapes, and I appreciate the balance of the harshness and the beauty. In a way, Kakadu reminds me of home. But the thing about the Outback is that it's much more than just a desert. It's a diverse place, filled with life. And so we hop on a boat to explore a very different part of the park. This is the Yellow Water Billabong. Lying in the heart of Kakadu National Park, Yellow Water is a stunning wetland consisting of river channels, floodplains, and swamps. It is a photographer's dream, as everywhere you look, there is some strange and beautiful creature. With a third of Australia's bird species found here in the area, there is nowhere else quite like it. To conclude our adventure in Kakadu, Saab has one more place to show me. As we resume our hike and Saab continues to share stories with me, I marvel at the depth of his knowledge about the Outback. It's obvious that he's passionate about this place, a place that he's spent his whole life exploring. As we climb, the exposed granite that erupts out of the plains looks primordial, like we're hiking on the skeletons of the earth. I feel privileged to be able to explore this place with Saab, and among those privileges is getting to see Saab's favorite viewpoint in all of Australia. My first taste of the Outback has been amazing. There's nowhere on the planet quite like this. I'm excited for what's next as we continue to explore Australia's Northern Territory. So we've made it to the center of Australia here in Alice Springs, where we're about to do the Larapinta Trail. So I'm here at the Telegraph Station, the traditional start of the Larapinta Trail, to meet our guides.
How we doing?
Hey guys.
Kirk.
Kirk?
Yep.
Eric, nice to meet you.
Hey Eric, Nom.
Nom, nice to meet you. I'm Eric.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Right on, guys.
So you got your back and went to the
let's
trail.
do it.
My name's Nom and I'm lucky enough to get paid to walk the Larapinta Trail. The Larapinta Trail is a 230 odd kilometre walking trail that takes you through the West Macdonald Ranges in Central Australia.
The trail starts in Alice Springs at the Telegraph Station and heads west along the West Macdonald Ranges, finishing at the climb on Mount Sonder.
Although I'm sad to have left Kakadu National Park behind, I'm thrilled to be hiking the Larapinta Trail with new friends. The trail really is the perfect way to explore new places and to forge new friendships. And this trail is supposed to be one of the very best in the country, as it winds through the desert and along a series of ridges and canyons.
You notice this, so it's pretty obvious that it doesn't belong in the rest of the tree. So this is mistletoe, but it often has like beautiful red berries on it. And that's how it's spread. And there's this one bird called the mistletoe bird who he eats the berries and the little seed inside that's really sticky. So he flies on to the next branch, poos, but then, you know, like when a dog gets dags, so he gets that and he does like his little dance and he like rubs his ass on the branch and then he like passes it along, and so that's how it's spread.
As we hike away from the small town of Alice Springs, it doesn't take long for it to feel like we are far from any type of civilization. The Larapinta Trail traverses multiple mountain ranges, most prominently the West Macdonald Range. It's a rugged landscape that can be downright brutal in the summer. But it's early spring and there's a cool breeze in the air, and from here, everything is gorgeous. Having already covered 10 miles, it's been an amazing but long day on the trail, and I'm looking forward to setting up camp in this beautiful, wide open country. I found I've got some neighbors for the night. Unearthed this, tipped over this rock, and underneath is a family of these big old spiders of some mysterious
type. I have no idea what they are. Here's my home. Here's their home. We're hunkering down for the night in the outback. Oh. So what can we expect on the trail tomorrow?
It's just a really beautiful one. There's gonna be walking through a beautiful gorge, and then up a dry waterfall, along a beautiful exposed 45-degree angle ridge, and then descending down to walk through another riverbed and go for an icy dip in yet another gorge.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Really good day.
I'm excited about tomorrow.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Excited for you.
We had a beautiful camp last night, first night on the Larapinta Trail. The stars last night were unbelievable. Never seen a Milky Way quite like that. Now this morning, just had a beautiful morning here along the river and stoked for another day on the trail. So we got about 10 or 12 miles of trail and it goes through some pretty diverse terrain. It seems to be that everybody we're coming across is really excited about this section in particular. So I can't wait to see what we have up ahead. Now the fun begins. Let's go.
My favourite thing about doing the trail is how it evolves. Every day is different, and whenever you do it, it's different. You never know what to expect. Section 5 would have to be one of the highlights. It's challenging, it's rewarding, it's just spectacular.
So where does the name Larapinta come from?
It's an Aranda name. So the Aranda are the people, the indigenous peoples whose land the track goes through. And it means salty water. And it's named for the Fink River that we get to camp on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now that view right there looks super inviting.
Yeah.
How could you not want to walk in there, right? Like,
Yeah.
The gorge beckons to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carved into the mountains over thousands of years by the rare but powerful rainstorms that occasionally flood the creeks, Spencer Gorge is a beautiful and peaceful place that even provides a little refuge from the pounding Australian sun. Framed by towering orange walls, we wind our way up the gorge towards the ridge above, working our way around the boulders and the white, ghost-like gum trees. Oh, that was awesome. Spectacular climb out of the gorge there. This is quite the way to experience the outback. Loving it. It's easy to see why this section of the Larapinta Trail is a favorite for many trekkers. It's a long day of travel through spectacular but challenging terrain. These are the hikes I love. The hikes that force you to dig deep, but at the same time, you never want them to end.
Yeah.
We
Good
made
job.
it.
Yeah, it sure did.
Good job, team.
Awesome. Loved it.
Let's go grab some dinner.
Fantastic.
Feeling a little bit of work today. I think that was the longest 16K there ever was. I just seemed to keep going.
I always find a sense of joy setting up my tent. It offers a quiet moment to reflect on the day, like a small meditation before nightfall. But tonight will be a short night without much sleep, because there's a tradition for hikers on this section of the trail.
It is 2:30 in the morning, and we're getting up real early to go climb Mount Sonder. But I'm looking forward to this sunrise.
It seems fitting to finish the Larapinta Trail and end my time here in Australia on top of Mount Sonder. It sums up what has been nothing short of a magical trip. A trip that started in the lively city of Darwin, that has offered incredible new experiences, glimpses into ancient times, personal challenges, and new friendships. It's fair to say that Australia's Northern Territory has delivered much more than an epic trail. It's been the experience of a lifetime.